welcome back to our channel. It has been a while since we did a farm update video for you, and we've had a lot of changes lately, and so I thought it would be fun to walk you around. Today's kind of a family work day. Jason is home today, and the weather is so much nicer than it has been. It actually just feels good out here, so it seemed like a good day to walk you around, show you the changes with animals and kind of some of the things that we're doing to get ready for a cold winter. So Bella has made some changes to our chicken coop. Now this is a stationary coop. She doesn't want a stationary coop at all, and I agree with her. If we could do things differently here, come this way, Bella. We're too dark.
For all the people that are
now that we know, 4 years later or whatever, we would not do a stationary coop. We would have a movable coop because this is a lot of work.
Not only a mobile coop, but a mobile coop that has a wire floor, so the manure falls below wherever they've been. Which majority of your mobile coops are like that, but just to add that in.
Yes, and someday we will be going to that because this is it's just too much work to keep up with. We have so many chickens that you're constantly dealing with the poop.
Like I said, we get 1 week.
However, she has made some changes recently to just kind of tweak what we have going on here and make it a little bit easier to manage. This is what Bella pulled out of the coop. This is what we've always had, traditional nesting boxes. Why did you decide to switch these up?
Chickens like sleeping in the nesting boxes, and they were pooping in it. It was very hard to clean this out, and you can see this is from when we had just bedding and stuff, matting in there, and so it stuck to the bottom. And the wood smells after a while.
Yeah, it wasn't working for us. So show us what you did instead.
So instead now this is totally temporary. As far as we know we're not keeping this coop forever, so I didn't want to spend hardly any time. As fast as possible, I put bottom, so I have milk crates. I turn them side. Now because it's temporary, I've seen people do it like this and they cut a hole out right here, but I didn't want to ruin our milk crates because it's temporary. So we just did this, screwed a board on, and then I have individual boards in between so they rest on them. So at night, now the bottom ones, we don't have a lot of layers right now, so I'm just turning them up. But at night I can turn them around. Oh, and for the bottom, I did screw board on.
Yeah. So this can help break that habit of sleeping and pooping in there because you can
at night just turn
them around to keep oh, there's an egg in there. Keep everybody out of this. We're not getting many eggs right now.
We barely have any layers because we have 40 chickens that should be laying any month. So
right. Most of our we have some that are too old to lay right now. We actually did a lot of chicken butchering, and then we have a bunch that are coming up that should be starting to lay.
I think we probably only have 8 layers, maybe.
So this way, they just poop onto the floor, and
that's less than a week.
Yeah, it builds up very fast, but then you can just rake it right out the door into a wheelbarrow.
This holds about 60 to 70 chickens. The roost, that's giving 8 to 9 inches per bird is how much you should have. So I did that, and then in the middle I did support boards.
This is a cart of some chicken and rabbit manure that has been shoveled out. So we produce lots of this, and it is wonderful for the garden. Here's the garden right now and all of its dead depressingness. I can't wait to see it green again. But we just continue to dump it on so that when springtime comes, we'll have lots of good manure there. Because we're spreading it out so much, I have not had any issues with the chicken manure burning plants. I know if you put it on hot, it can be a problem, but yeah, the way that we have done it, I've even side dressed it down in between our rows when it was fresh, and the plants were just starting to grow, and we've had no issues. In this second garden spot, underneath these, I actually have our garlic planted. I have to cover them up because right now chickens are kind of going everywhere and working on the soil for us, and they will dig those garlic cloves right out of the ground. That'll be the end of it. These water heaters just go into any container. There's some for metal, some for rubber. And so we have, this is for chicken and dog water. We still do ferment the grain for the chickens and the pigs. We just keep it in our well house where it's warm, it doesn't freeze. That's how we do it in the winter, and we just do a 1-day soaking. One thing that we raise here on the farm is rabbits. These serve 2 purposes. Bella sells breeding pairs to people in the area who are wanting to get started on raising their own rabbits, and then we also raise them for meat. Rabbit meat is something that has been consumed by people for a very long time. It tastes like chicken. Yeah, that's the other purpose of these. So there are 4 females. I forgot we acquired another one. 4 females and 1 male. So Bella's getting ready to restock their cages. They eat a lot of hay. So she's going to go get hay to refill them, and then they also get rabbit pellets daily because it's winter and they're not on grass. When the nice weather comes, they will not be in these cages. They will be in movable cages that move around.
When they don't have babies, though.
Right, that move around and so they can eat the grass. But newborn rabbits cannot be in grass
until like 6 to 8 weeks of age.
Okay, so once the mamas have babies, then they have to be in here with their new babies until everybody's ready to be back in grass again. Bella built the cages from a roll of flat wire. She used these little clips and actually formed these boxes herself into these amazing cages. And then these little openers were from Amazon, and they make it a lot easier to open and close the doors than what you had before, right?
Yeah. So we got really lucky and we found brand new heated water bowls for really cheap.
That's right.
That somebody had bought a bunch and then sold the extras.
So these are heated. They all just plug in, which keeps their water
they're like 1.5
all the time.
quart, I think.
They're fantastic, and we're 1 short, and so we just ordered 1 more bowl for the male because we want everybody to have their water warm this winter. Otherwise, this small amount of water freezes so fast. You'd have to come out every hour or 2 on really cold days and break their waters, and we're just not up for that. She also has these trays, which were from Amazon as well, that catches any rabbit poop so that we can use it in the garden. Well, hello, buddy. This is Spots. He's the papa for all the baby bunnies.
I got another female, which I wasn't expecting to get another female. So I was going to have 4 rabbits as in him be up there. I like the idea of having another female because that's 4 more babies. But I still have to build his cage.
Right.
So he's in a dog crate for now, which works perfectly fine.
On a stand. This is what she uses for feeders. They clip right onto the cage. So there's a hole cut out there, and then it's gravity fed. So it makes it really easy. You just pour it into the top.
Yeah.
They always have plenty of feed in there.
And
this is Silas's job, right? Silas is the rabbit feeder. Every
I don't
kid
know
has different
exactly
jobs.
how much they're getting fed because he changes it depending on how much they're eating. We're not trying to, like, if they had babies, I'd be giving them as much food as they can eat because they're nursing and the babies would be eating it. But since we're just trying to go maintain health for as far as breeding levels go. So an average of like 1.5 cups per rabbit.
He's got it down to a science.
But he has, as far as weights go, he has everybody on different something.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job on that.
Yeah.
So right next to the rabbit house, behind it is the chicken coop, and right next to it is our turkey house. So this is a more recent addition to our farm. Bella made a super cute sign, and this is a gate that just swings open here. There's a chicken in there right now.
It's a 5x10 turkey house.
So during the day we keep the turkey food up so the chickens don't eat it, but we found that our turkeys require some extra feed than our chickens, a high protein feed. So at night when they get put in here, that bucket comes down and then they can have all of the high protein feed they want, and we save that just for them and not the chickens. And then during the day it gets clipped back up again. So right now we have 2 females, 2 males, but a friend of ours is actually going to give us some more turkeys
2 more females.
So we will have more females, since we did have a lot of loss when we first got the baby turkeys. Unfortunately, we lost quite a few.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This could probably fit about 8 to 10 turkeys in here.
Nice. Hopefully we'll have baby turkeys next year.
Yeah, well the babies, so when the moms hatch the babies, because they're saying that you want to keep the babies locked up until they're older because they're dumb and they'll kill themselves. And so we have chicken trackers that we can put the mama and babies in,
so they can be
they have a lot of room, because they need a lot of room, because like the female we had last year at her original owners, she hatched 10 babies, so that's a lot of babies from one.
We were a little concerned whenever our friend gave us an adult female and a younger female of how they would integrate with the 2 males that we had that had survived from that first group that we got.
Mainly because we've never introduced turkeys before.
Yeah, we never introduced turkeys, so we're like, is it like chickens? I don't know. So we actually kept them, this was their recommendation, we kept the ladies locked up for quite a few weeks. Was it maybe 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
So that the male turkeys would be on the other side, they could see them, but they were contained until they learned this is their home, because the family was concerned that they'll just up and fly away because they're not identifying with this.
That's why we kept them for 3 to 4 weeks locked up.
Right.
Not that we were worried about integrating them, but
integrating them to the farm.
More wild than ours were.
These are Narragansett turkeys, so they are closer to the, my lens is funny, oh there it goes. They're closer to a wild turkey than a lot of the turkey breeds that you'll find.
Turkey breed. Which we absolutely love the Narragansetts. Definitely like heritage breeds. That's what we're kind of going for, because you get an overall healthier animal than your commercial breeds. So
yeah, we've been really happy with them so far, and they're friendly. Even if you pick them up, they'll kind of relax and let you hold them.
Yeah, the adults.
Yeah, so once they came out, they did wonderfully. They just kind of did a little dance. They got to know the males, in person, and it's been smooth. The 4 of them go around together as a family now.
And then they go back in here. We lock them up at night.
So we'll do that same plan whenever our friend gives us, I think she has, what did she say, 2 or 3 more females for us? So that'll give us a good little flock. They're thinking it's feeding time. We are not the pig feeders. That's Leo's job, but everybody's coming running. Okay, so we have 2 mamas here. This is Rose, who had 10 babies.
That is adorable. Look at that.
We were so surprised, and they're so tiny and cute and all different types of colorings.
Look at that little black and white one. That one is too cute.
So Rose's babies and Tulip's babies are 1 month apart. So these bigger brown babies belong to Tulip. That's their mama. Hi there. And then all of those little spotted ones belong to Rose.
And those spotted ones are some of her last litter,
right,
which are a few months older than these brown ones.
So we actually will be selling a few of these pigs. We just didn't expect Rose to have so many, and we don't need this many to butcher. This is how the pigs get their water.
To keep this from freezing, and the nipples don't freeze as long as you keep this tank heater on. So the reason we have a pallet here, and we have one so their feet, the pallet boards are really close together so their feet don't get caught. But the reason we have the pallet there is so that they don't want to make a little mud hole, because the water will drip down and they like, digging in that mud. So we like to keep it clean so they don't have a hole, and it keeps it up off the ground so it makes it easier for the babies to eat.
This is one of the shelters. So because Mama had new babies in here, we actually put a heat lamp inside so it would be really warm. This shelter was something that someone else built. We did not build this one, but plenty of straw hay to keep them warm, and then we still have that heat lamp, like I said, because the babies were little. This was the second one that was built just out of some pallets and metal, and we had an old tarp to throw over. Just pigs don't really like wind.
You're so cute. Yeah. Sorry.
So we feed the pigs just in these rubber feed pans. There's a few of them. Leo does the pig feeding and soaking their grain. So he just dumps them in there and everybody goes to town. These are Cooney Cooney pigs, and the reason that we like them, multiple reasons, but they're very friendly. We don't have to worry about having the kids in here with them. They are a heritage breed, and they're pasture pigs. So when the weather is nice and there's plenty to eat, instead of making a mess of the pasture, they will eat.
Well, we like to put them with our cows in the pasture. The cow manure is very good for them, has lots of minerals in it. So they like to eat that, and then they're good because they eat the weeds that the cows don't like. So we can just leave them in with the cows and they don't hurt the grass. And then when we move the cows, we just move the pigs.
So this is Victory. You may remember him if you've been around this channel for a while. We bought him as a little calf. He calf shared for us. He nursed off of Mama Fern. And now he's a Holstein male, and he will be also next to be processed.
And for all those very worried people, if you remember, Victory had an issue with his horn.
Right. His horn got ripped off.
He caught it. We're guessing it had to have been barbed wire because he was in a pen with nothing else. So somehow he ripped the cap off his horn, and it was an actual cap, so underneath was raw and stuff. A lot of people were concerned, like, take it to the vet, and we treated ourselves, and now you cannot tell anything happened. It healed really fast.
And we used glue coat on it.
Yeah, good old blue.
This horn right there.
So it's slightly less tip, like pointy, but past that you can't tell. It hardened right back over, just like a fingernail, and it's fine.
When we were quickly leaving for Illinois the other day, Jason brought in another big round bale of hay, but we didn't have time to put the hay ring on, and they've already made this big of a mess.
2 days. Then they destroy.
Okay, so to be able to feed Wilbur his grain without these cows eating it, there's a little enclosed area here of hot wire that he can go underneath to get his grain, but they can't get to it. And he also has a pig water, just like the mama pigs do, and then the cows drink out of that trough over there. This is Destin. He is our male belted Galloway, and he is the feller who was able to breed April. He's a young belted Galloway, just like she's a young Jersey. And so we will have our first belted Galloway Jersey calf.
Yeah.
Sometime
we're not
late winter.
Quite sure yet what we're gonna do as far as we're not sold on the belted Galloway bull, but we have him, and he was good deal, and we just need something to breed right now until we get our sold breeds figured out.
Yeah, we're still discussing that. So if you have good experience with,
well, we know the breeds we like. They're just really expensive.
I enjoy hearing their experience, because we are wanting to breed whoever we keep for a male. We want to breed with our Jersey. Otis is our male livestock guardian dog. He hangs out outside all the time with Lacey, the mama dog. All her puppies have been sold, so we don't have any puppies left, but this is the papa, and he is so gentle and lovable, but also very fierce. If somebody shows up unannounced at the wrong hour, he doesn't take kindly to that. And they do a great job with predators. Okay, right here we have, these are empty chicken tractors right now. Our bees are all packed up for winter, and we are just praying that they survive. We used alpaca hair inside pillowcases, and we put that just inside the roof of the hive to insulate it. We winterize our fruit trees. We pruned them before winter, and then we just surrounded them with some old bedding, which will also have cow manure in it because it came out of the pastures. This is our mama livestock guardian dog, Lacey. She is really on it. Jason and I were talking about this at night. She is the first one to get up and get moving if she senses anything going on out there. She is the alpha dog around here. The males very much respect her. After the last litter of puppies had weaned, we noticed that Lacey was not looking good. She had lost weight and her coat was kind of matted. So we started doing special things for her to just give her an extra boost of health. I actually started making bone broth for her so that she would get all the rich nutrients from that. And then we gave her things like coconut oil, vitamin E, fish oils, and it was literally just a matter of 2 weeks or less, and she started gaining weight and her coat got that shine to it again. It was amazing how quickly those extra things improved her health, and so I'm keeping up with them just because we want her to be at her top health, so that next year, if she has puppies again, she's in the best health that she could be. So if you saw our video about our dairy cow Fern, she was really our beloved cow that we had for several years, and she died suddenly from bloat. And I actually have read about bloat more since, and although there's nothing that we could have done for her because it happened in the night and we weren't aware of it, bloat can kill a cow in as little as 15 minutes when it happens. I did just read an account from a woman who recently, on their cattle farm, they came across a very young cow who had just been stricken with bloat, and she actually grabbed her husband's knife, ran up to the cow who had just bloated up and fallen to its side, and just stabbed the cow on its left side, right in the rumen. And anyway, as it progressed, because they're releasing that gas from the cow, they had to also move on to using some hose to get more out, but they were able to save the cow's life that way. So just reading that account, just the drama of that and thinking about Fern, it was just like a lot of emotions for me. Like I said, we couldn't have done anything because she was already gone when we came out in the mornings, but it was a sad grieving period.
But there's nothing we could have done.
There's nothing we could have done, but this is what we have of Fern. We have her baby, April. So April will turn 2 next year in April, which is why we named her that. She was the first calf that has been born here, and she has been down on the property we leased from our neighbor. So we're still trying to work on her to get her as friendly as Fern was. Fern was so good, even with the little kids, that they could be around her.
Say cheese.
April is not quite gentle with the little ones yet.
It's
she
her.
likes
The
a
problem
headbutt.
is that
she's young.
Her age.
She's young, and she hasn't been around us as much this year because she was down on that pasture ground. So Jerseys in general are really friendly cows, so it's just a matter of time of working with her. But right now, the younger kids, they don't want to come in here with her at all. So we got to work on that. But she is pregnant.
She's she's good as far as like you can. She'll walk into the milk stand. She'll stand, and then you can like fake milk her.
The hopes is that when it's time to milk her for the first time, she'll be so used to the milk stand and going in and out that it won't be as big of a deal.
Which I don't think it will be.
So we are not exactly sure when she's due. That's going to be the excitement, is kind of watching for signs to get close to that, but it's not sooner than February.
Which is the fun of having the cows somewhere else so you can't watch them.
But the timing of whenever she and Dustin were first together, it can't be earlier than February is what we're thinking. This little lady is Lily. She's a belted Galloway, a young female belted Galloway. And we originally had gotten her when we got Dustin. We got them at the same time from a farmer in Illinois. And the plan was that she would be a beef cow breeding female, so that we would be having straight beef cows from her of the belted Galloway breed, and then we would also be having mixed calves from our Jerseys. But we're not sure exactly what we're doing. Currently, we're just thinking about that. I don't know what we're doing. We had posted her for sale.
We're thinking that you can milk them, but you're not gonna get anything.
No, it would be for beef.
And that's the downside, is we'd have this cow anyway, might as well have it for milk.
Yeah, so we're kind of going more toward just having our jerseys and breeding them with a meat breed so that the babies could be our beef cows when they grow, rather than just having a beef cow breed who does nothing but produce.
I mean, if we had the land to feed them, that'd be fine, but we're having to rent from our neighbor.
Yes, and buy a lot of hay in the winter.
Like, the more cows we put down and the more land we have to rent, the more money it is. So when we're like,
yeah.
If
so
we have
Lily's cute and fuzzy, but we did list her for sale. She didn't. It was a bad time of year to post animals for sale, but we thought we'd just try it out.
We're probably just gonna sell her.
And we may, we may just allow
if
her.
Anyone wants a little.
Even if we allow her to breed, get a confirmed pregnancy test, and then we can sell her as a pregnant.
She's halter trained.
Yeah.
She's perfectly friendly. It's just that we just decided to.
Yeah, we decided to change course. But right now she's there. So we have these 2 females in one pasture and those 2 males that I showed you in another pasture. We do not want Lily to be bred yet. She's still too young. And so we had to separate her from the male belted Galloway so that we just totally eliminate that possibility. And so cows like company. So the ladies are here and the gentlemen are over there. So we don't have a whole lot of snow here in Missouri. We do get some snowfalls, but it's not a lot of deep snow. However, we do have freezing temperatures that days and days will go on that it doesn't get above freezing. And so we have to deal with, you know, the not fun thing of frozen hoses. So what we try to do after we fill everything is to lay the hoses out so that they empty. There have been a couple times when it hasn't happened, and then we've had to bring them inside of like our well house to thaw them out, but for the most part it works out okay. Because our house is heated with wood now, we have a new chore this year that we've never had before, and that's keeping the wood pile full, so we have plenty of wood to burn. So the boys are actually with Jason working on cutting up some more trees. We have lots of wood available to burn in our woods around this place. In fact, Jason took the tractor down and he and Leo are hauling up dead trees from the woods so that the boys can then run them through the log splitter so they're ready to go.
No. Are you higher than it, Mom?
Yes.